smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me.
Oh, that's what friends really are for. Hillary Clinton about to campaign with Obama in New Hampshire on Friday, and this just in, Bill Clinton is now saying that he's going to help Obama too. This is all wonderful. To discuss it all is former Clinton advisor Dick Morris, author of the fabulous new book, Fleeced, and his columns, of course, can be found at dickmorris.com. Now, Dick, we're going to get into Gitmo and all the craziness that's coming out of that, but you have to comment on this Clinton news coming out today where Bill Clinton says, well, I'm going to do whatever's asked of me. And my question to you is, are they going to ask him to do anything?
Yeah, sure. He'll make all of the ceremonial appearances, Laura, and Hillary will do what she's supposed to do. But have no doubt in your mind that they want McCain to win. If McCain wins, then Hillary can run in 2012. If McCain loses, then she's stuck with Obama in 2012 as the Democratic nominee, and she has to wait until 16. And there is no love lost there. Hillary still has a huge debt. There's been no effort by the Obama people to pay it down, and he sent every possible signal that he's not looking at her for vice president. So this is definitely an enforced appearance.
Hey, Dick, I was joking earlier with a friend of mine that they're appearing in Unity, New Hampshire, but they really should be at like Cold Spring Harbor, New York. Right. I mean, Unity, New Hampshire, that's just ridiculous. Now, on the same issue of Bill Clinton, the lines, we don't have to go over them, but, oh, this is a fantasy, and the Jesse Jackson line, all of that. That still has to be under the craw of the Obama campaign, right? I mean, he still has star power, but that still has to be bugging them.
Sure it does, but I think that more than that, there simply is the way the Clintons ended this campaign, which was essentially almost overtly appealing to white voters, and using that word as Hillary did. And, the early supporters that Hillary had were women who were largely feminist and Democrat and pro-choice and all of that good stuff. The later supporters she had were voters who had to choose between racism and sexism, and they chose to take racism more seriously.
Now, in your book, you address this hot-button issue of what we do with these detainees, and especially this Gitmo problem. Now, this is blown all over the press because of what the Supreme Court did. What is John McCain not doing, and all the research you did, to capitalize on this issue in the way he could?
Well, sometimes I wonder if the guy's in a trance or not. I mean, why doesn't he just, I'm reading from the book Fleeced, why doesn't he tell the story of Abdullah Masood, a 31-year-old Pakistani who lied and told everybody that he was from Afghanistan and a humble tribesman. He was captured in December '01, released in March '04, when we bought his story that he wasn't anything important. As soon as he got out, he kidnapped 2 Chinese engineers, killed one, held the other one hostage, became a Taliban commander in Afghanistan, and finally we had to kill him on July 24th, 2007. Out of the 485 people who have been released from Guantanamo, and many more are now going to be released thanks to the Supreme Court, we have captured or killed 50 of them on the battlefield after they were released. We had them, we held them, and then we let them go. And what's going on now is the Bush administration is so terrified of international public opinion and of the American court system that they're springing them from Guantanamo as fast as they can. And we have to meet them on the battlefield. One thing to talk about inner city recidivism, it's another to find it in the war on terror.
Well, Dick, how about this issue? How about the fact that Chicago right now is suffering from a violent crime wave? You see what's happening even in these public high schools in Chicago with crime, gang warfare breaking out. How is Chicago the center of the new democratic reform movement? I mean, the idea that Obama came out of that, how is that reassuring, and why is McCain not talking about that?
And I don't know if Obama's in favor of withdrawing our troops from Chicago. What McCain has to do is he has to go to Obama and say, look, okay, you're going to pull out of Iraq. Okay, cool. Now what happens if 100,000 Iraqis are killed, Al-Qaeda takes over the oil wells, uses Iraq as a terrorist base, and Iran takes over the country? What are you going to do? And at that point he has to say, I'll negotiate. And he'll say, yeah, but that's not going to work. Then what are you going to do? And he has to say, I'll go back in a third time. And McCain then says, don't you realize that if we stay there and keep the battlefield deaths at 17 or lower, as we did during May, fewer than in Chicago, that we can keep the peace there, we can keep it under control, but if we leave and have to come back in, that's going to be hundreds and thousands of additional deaths.
Well, I think you've written about this in many of your columns, Dick, but this idea that the Democrats continue to deny good news in the war on terror, that is such a winner issue for John McCain.
Absolutely.
And I hope that he
and
really
he
does
can make
exploit
Iraq
that.
a winner issue by showing how Obama has just not thought through this idea of withdrawal.
Fact,
withdrawal's
fact.
fine. What are you going to do the next week?